They're gonna have to wait until I'm done.
He's not here. He came and he left.
This person's gonna have to wait until I'm done. She texted me, she's on her way. Good morning. Today's date is Thursday, November 18th. The time is approximately 10:27 a.m. and we are on the record. My name is Judge Tony Gonzalez. I am the judge of the Robstown Municipal Court. Today's proceedings are being conducted via Zoom and are being shown live on the court's YouTube channel. I want to thank those of you that are here today for showing up. A lot more people were summoned to be here. They did not show up. You folks did. So I want to thank you and I appreciate that. So today's proceedings consist of what's called arraignments and the show cause docket. Okay, an arraignment, all that means is that you're here for the first time to answer to your violation. Okay, so I'm going to let you know some information and let you know some rights that you have. Okay, these are Class C misdemeanors. The fines in these cases normally do not exceed $500. You have the right to have a jury determine your guilt or innocence. You can waive your right to a trial by jury, and you can have a trial before the court, which is me. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. An attorney could help you understand the law, can help you understand procedure, and can help you make decisions regarding your case. If you choose to go forward without a lawyer, I have no choice but to hold you to the same standard as if you were an attorney. You also have the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You don't have to testify in your case against yourself. As you sit here today, you are innocent until proven guilty. So that's a very important right that you have. So if you end up going to trial, you don't have to put on one witness. You don't have to say one thing. It's the state's burden to prove their case. Okay. Does everyone understand these rights? Okay. Some other things I need to let you know. There are alternative means to payment. If you enter a plea of guilty, if I find you guilty, or if you enter a plea of no contest, and I order a fine and court costs be paid, and you're unable to meet that financial obligation, you have every right to request an application, which you will fill out. I will set you for what's called an indigency hearing. At that hearing, if I find that you qualify, I can put you on an extended payment plan. I can put you on community service, or I can do a combination of those things, okay? Also, if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest, and a finding of guilt could affect your status in the United States. So I strongly suggest that you consult a lawyer before entering your plea. There are consequences beyond this courtroom on certain cases. For instance, if you are found guilty on a failure to have insurance, that could result in getting surcharges from the state of Texas, which I have no control over. So if you have a question whether your particular charge is going to result in surcharges, I strongly suggest you consult an attorney. So the way this is going to work is here in a minute, I'm gonna call the cases. When you hear your case called, I ask that you speak up, and that I'm gonna ask you to raise your right hand, and I'm gonna swear you in. After I swear you in, I'm gonna let you know what you're being charged with. And then I'm gonna ask you, how do you plead? You're gonna have three choices. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. A plea of guilty and a plea of no contest are essentially the same thing, in that I will find you guilty. The only difference is that when you plead no contest, you're essentially telling the court that you're not contesting the matter. You're not saying you did it. You're not saying you didn't do it. You're just telling the court that based on the evidence that's before the court at this time, that there could be a finding of guilt, and you're not contesting the matter. Okay. When does this come into play? Well, for instance, in a civil court, if they try to use your plea guilty, it would come in to prove liability. Say, for instance, you're in a car wreck, the result of speeding. If you plead no contest, it should not be allowed in. Okay, so just kind of what the difference is between those two. So if you plead guilty or you plead no contest, then we'll go to the punishment portion of the case. At the punishment portion of the case, there's a number of things that I can do, from straight out finding you guilty and issuing the judgment, which, is kind of the last thing I want to do on some cases because it will affect your insurance. But if it's warranted, I will. If I feel that the case warrants it, I could place you on what's called deferred disposition. That's a type of probation where if you do what I ask you to do and you pay what I ask you to pay, the case will result in a dismissal and should not affect your insurance rates. In addition, if I feel that you qualify, I could offer you the driving safety course program. So there's a number of things that I can do. Some other things I need to let you know is, I know there's times when you come before the court on your arraignment and you want to talk to the judge and you want to tell the judge your side of the story. Well, this is not the time to do that. I'm not allowed to hear facts of the case until the case is actually tried, or if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, and before I consider punishment, you can talk to me about whatever you want, okay? So if you plead guilty or no contest, then we go to the punishment portion of the case, and the case is pretty much done at that point. If you plead not guilty, the next thing that will happen is you will receive a notice of pretrial. At that pretrial, until we tell you otherwise, it will be conducted via Zoom. There will be a prosecutor that represents the state of Texas present. Our prosecutor out of this court, his name is Epimeniel Isasi. You will have an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor regarding your case. If at that time you want to let them know any evidence that you have that you want them to consider, or anything that you feel that may exonerate you, you can do it at that time, because the prosecutor is the one that's bringing the case on behalf of the state of Texas. He has the ability to enter into a plea bargain agreement, which he will then present to the court for approval. He has the ability to dismiss a case if he feels that it's warranted, okay? Also at the pretrial, if there's any pretrial motions you want the court to hear, they will be heard at that time. If you are unable to resolve your case at pretrial, then the case will be set for trial. And that'll either be before the judge, which is me, or before a jury. It's going to be your choice. Okay. So before I call the first case, are there any questions? Okay. So I ask for your patience. Know this: if this was under regular, normal conditions, you folks would be sitting in my courtroom waiting for your case to be called. By being able to do Zoom, you're at work, at home, in your vehicle. And you could do other things while you're waiting for your case to be called. I ask that if you are in your vehicle, that you please not be moving, that you pull your vehicle over to conduct these proceedings, okay? All right, I'm gonna call the first case. Court calls cause number 2111002-681, State of Texas versus Ricky Martinez Jr. Ricky Martinez Jr. Let the record reflect that Mr. Martinez did not appear for his Zoom hearing. Court calls cause number 2111002-687, State of Texas versus Ernesto Contreras. Ernesto Contreras. Let the record reflect that Mr. Contreras did not appear for his Zoom hearing. Court calls cause number 2110002-653, State of Texas versus Andrew Martinez. Andrew Martinez.
This is he.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. Mr. Martinez, you are charged with the offense of possession of drug paraphernalia alleged to have occurred on or about October 27, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of this charge?
Yes.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
As to the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia alleged to have occurred on or about October 27, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to
Yes.
no, how do you plead? Guilty,
Oh,
not or no contest?
Guilty.
The court will accept your plea of guilty. How old are you, Mr. Martinez?
I'm 20.
Okay. I'm gonna place you on 90 days deferred disposition.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a fine of $230, cost of $76 for a total of $306.
Yes, sir.
And you have to do a drug education course online, any course, so long as it produces a certificate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that course has to be done by the end of the 90-day period. The total cost is $306. When can that be paid, Mr. Martinez?
The fine.
Yes.
I can pay that. I get paid Tuesday. I could pay it. Pay it Tuesday.
Okay, then I will put on here to be paid by. I won't put exactly on Tuesday because I know things happen. May not be able to make it here on time. We'll say
Yes, sir.
by February 20. Well, I think we're going to be off that day. We'll do it on the 24th. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Following day.
I appreciate that.
All right, Mr. Martinez, you need to come by the. Do you live in Robstown?
No, I live close to Robstown.
Okay, you need to come by the court either today or tomorrow to sign off on your plea paperwork.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll go from there, okay?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Martinez, let me have a good phone number for you.
Like another phone number?
Or, a phone number we can reach you at.
The best one would probably be like mine or a different one.
Yours is fine.
It'll be 361-222-4890.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Thank you.
Court calls cause number 2111002-689, State of Texas versus Justin Valdez. Justin Valdez. Court calls cause number 2111002-691, State of Texas versus Elmer Perez. Elmer Perez. Court calls cause number 211100269, State of Texas versus Jorge Gomez. Jorge Gomez. Court calls cause number 211100268, State of Texas versus Brandon Gonzalez. Brandon Gonzalez. Court calls cause number 211100269, State of Texas. This is also Brandon Gonzalez. Court calls cause number 211100266, State of Texas versus Benjamin Falcon Jr.
Present.
Mr. Falcon, can you please raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Falcon. Mr. Falcon, you are charged with the offense of following too closely, resulting in a alleged to have occurred on or about October 28th, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of that charge?
Yes, I am.
And do you understand it?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, as to the charge of following too closely on or about October 28th, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
The court will accept your plea of no contest. Mr. Falcon, do you know if the damage to the other vehicle has been taken care of yet?
I know the insurance company's dealing with it. Damage to my own vehicle is less than $1,200. A 3-mile-an-hour bumper was not damaged to my vehicle, so it was not very severe.
Okay, but you had insurance and they're taking care of it. Okay,
That is affirmative, sir.
okay. All right. Then I will place you on 90 days deferred disposition. It's going to be a fine of $149.90, cost of $150 for a total of $299.90.
Your Honor, could you read back? What was the total?
$299.90. By when can you get this paid, Mr. Falcon?
As soon as possible. We can have that done either later today or tomorrow, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll put down on here for tomorrow. That'll be the 19th. And Mr. Falcon, so long as you get that paid and don't get any other citations in a 90-day period, the case will get dismissed.
Wonderful. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Falcon, can I get a phone number for you, please?
Yes, sir. The number is area code 361. The number is 947. I apologize. I don't call myself that often.
I understand.
947-6860.
Perfect. And Mr. Falcon, if you can make it to the Robstown Municipal Court either today or tomorrow to sign off on that, on the plea paperwork, that would be fantastic.
I will do so, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Falcon. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
Court calls number 2111002-717, State of Texas versus Maria Jeanette Ruiz Rubio. If you can unmute your mic.
Okay.
There you go.
Sure.
If you can please raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes, sir.
You are charged with the offense of failing to yield at an intersection, thereby causing an accident alleged to have occurred on or about November 4th, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of that charge?
Yes.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
As to the charge of failure to yield at an intersection alleged to have occurred on or about 4th, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
The court will accept your plea of no contest. And place you on 90 days deferred disposition. going to be a fine of $149.90, cost of $150, for a total of $299.90.
Okay.
When can you pay this, Ms. Ruiz Rubio?
Next week, maybe Friday.
We're going to be closed Friday, so how
Okay.
about I go ahead and put you for the Monday thereafter,
Sure, no problem.
and that's going to be the 29th.
No problem.
Can I get a phone number for you, please?
361-694-0711.
Perfect. Thank you very much. You are excused.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and I'm sorry, you also, you got to tell her.
Yes,
There-
sir.
Okay, there you go. You also need to come by the courts either today or tomorrow to sign off on your paperwork, okay?
No problem, sir. Will do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Court calls cause number 2111002-682, State of Texas versus Lee Trevino. Lee Trevino. Court calls cause number 2111002-692, State of Texas versus Anita Solis. Anita Solis. Okay, that takes care of the arraignment docket. We're going to go to the show cause docket now. Court calls cause number 21040000893, State of Texas versus Juan Salazar. Juan Salazar. Court calls cause number 2008003184, 2005001391, and 2005001392, State of Texas versus Reagan Lee Pena. Reagan Lee Pena. Court calls cause number 1901-000175, 1901-000176, 1903-002647, 2108-001987, 2108-001988, 2109-002073, State of Texas versus Arnoldo Rios. Arnoldo Rios. For cause number 2107-002-1519, State of Texas versus Rita Rico.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Rico, you are, it looks like I placed you on deferred disposition on a case, and you're asking for an extension of the deferral period. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so initially it was 90 days. That would have taken it to October 28th. I can give you up to January 26th, but that's like the absolute last day because by statute, I cannot go more than 180 days.
Okay.
Is that good with you?
Yes.
Okay, if you can get it paid before, like, don't try to wait till the last minute, okay?
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be the 26th day of January 2022. Ms. Rico, do you live in Robstown?
Yes, sir.
If you can come by the court to get a copy of that extension, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Court calls cause number 210700151, State of Texas versus Nathaniel Guzman. Nathaniel Guzman. Court calls cause number 210500113, State of Texas versus Jade Escamilla.
Here.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Escamilla, you can put your hand down. It looks like you were placed on deferred disposition on 2 causes. The date was for 90 days, and that was up on November 4th, 2021. You're asking for an extension. I can give you till February 4th, 2022. That's the absolute last day I can give you. It's 180 days. I can't go beyond that. Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to come by the court to pick up a copy of your extension, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Court calls cause number 18020000656, 18020000657, and 18020000658, State of Texas versus Pablo Reyes Jr.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Mr. Reyes, it looks like you also were placed on deferred disposition on 3 causes. The 90-day period was up on October 19th, 2021. It looks like you're requesting an extension. I will extend you the same courtesy. Your 180 days will be up on January 17th, 2022.
Okay.
Think you can get it paid by then?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pay half of that today.
Perfect. So if you can,
I'll tell-
the courthouse to pick up a copy of these extensions, and at the same time, if you're going to pay that, you can go ahead and get that paid today.
Sir,
I said at the same time, if you're going to go ahead and pay half of that, you can pay it today. You can pay.
I live in Irving, Texas.
Got you. If you can call the court, okay? Call the court. You have that phone number?
Yes, sir.
Call the court and they'll tell you how to do the payment, and then they can email you a copy of these extensions, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
You can talk here a little bit, okay? What's his name? Is it a show cause or it's a regular case? That's fine. Do they have masks? Cynthia, do they have masks? Okay. If you can have us right there's fine, right there. Good morning. Okay. Court calls cause number 2111002-687, State of Texas versus Ernesto Contreras. Mr. Contreras, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Contreras, you are charged with the offense of public intoxication alleged to have occurred on or about October 9, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas. Are you aware of this charge? And do you understand it? Okay, Mr. Contreras, before I ask you how do you plead, I'm going to let you know some rights that you have. These are Class C misdemeanors with fines that normally do not exceed $500. You have the right to have a jury determine your guilt or innocence. You can waive your right to a trial by jury, and you can have a trial before the court, which is me. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will not be appointed to you because there is no chance of jail time in this case. But an attorney could help you understand the law, can help you understand procedure, and can help you make decisions regarding your case. If you choose to go forward without a lawyer, I have no choice but to hold you to the same standards as if you were an attorney. Do you understand this? You also have the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You do not have to testify in your case against yourself. It is the state's burden to prove their case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. As you sit there today, you are innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand these rights? Okay. It's also important to know that there are consequences beyond this courtroom on certain cases. For instance, on a driving with no insurance could result in surcharges from the state of Texas, okay? So if you have a question whether your charge could result in something like that, I would strongly suggest you consult an attorney. Also, if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest and a finding of guilt could affect your status in the United States. If you find yourself in this situation, I would strongly suggest you consult an attorney before entering a plea. Finally, if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, and I in fact find you guilty, and I order a fine and court cost, and you are unable to pay that amount or meet your financial obligation, there are other ways to meet your obligation. If you find yourself in this situation, you can request from the court clerks up front an application which you will fill out. We will then have a hearing where I will determine if in fact you qualify. If I make a determination that you do, I can put you on an extended payment plan. I can put you on community service or a combination of those things. Do you understand this? Okay. Finally, just to kind of let you know the way this is going to work, when I ask you how do you plead here in a minute, you're going to have three choices. You can plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. A plea of guilty and a plea of no contest are essentially the same thing in that I will find you guilty. The only difference is when you plead no contest, you're telling the court you're not contesting the matter. You're not saying you did it. You're not saying you didn't do it. What you are saying is that you feel that the court has enough evidence to find you guilty, and you're just going to enter a plea of no contest. Do you understand that? Okay. If you enter a plea of not guilty, then your case will be set for trial. Or first you'll have a pretrial, well, there will be a prosecutor present that you'll be able to speak to discuss your case. You could try to negotiate a plea bargain agreement. If you feel that in fact you have a defense or an excuse, or you have any evidence you want the prosecutor to consider, that is the time to do it. The prosecutor has the ability to dismiss a case if he feels that it warrants it. He's the one bringing the case on behalf of the state of Texas, okay? And finally, if you plead guilty or no contest, then we go to the punishment portion of the case. At the punishment portion, there's a number of things that I can do, including putting you on a type of probation, where if you do what I ask you to do and you pay what I ask you to pay, the case gets dismissed. I could straight up find you guilty and issue a judgment. So there's a number of things that I can do. At the punishment portion of the case, you can tell me and talk to me about anything you want me to consider. Before that, I cannot hear anything regarding the facts of the case unless we're at trial and there's a prosecutor present, okay? Any questions before I ask for your plea? Okay, I cannot hear anything regarding that day regarding the facts, okay? Okay, listen to me. I'm not gonna hear evidence. I'm not gonna hear anything regarding your case. I'm gonna take your plea. Guilty, not guilty. If you feel you weren't guilty or you were did wrong, you plead not guilty. And then you'll have an ability, there'll be somebody here. You can come in person also, and you can talk to him. Whatever you want him to consider, he'll be able to do that. Right now, by law, it's not that I don't want to hear you, okay? By law, I can't hear you, okay? So I'm gonna ask you for your plea. And like I said, you have every right to plead not guilty, okay? And then you can talk to the prosecutor. Now, if after talking to the prosecutor, you say, well, you know what? I want to change my plea, you have every right to do that also, okay? Okay. So I'm just gonna ask you for your plea. And like I said, if you feel you have an excuse or you have something you want to be considered, by all means, plead not guilty. You can always change your plea later if you want to. You understand that? Okay, so Mr. Contreras, as to the charge of public intoxication alleged to have occurred on or about October 9th, 2021 in Robstown, Nueces County, Texas, as to that charge, how do you plead? Yes, sir. I will accept your plea of not guilty. We're going to set this matter for a pretrial, right? That's where the prosecutor will be here. And if you're then unable to resolve your case, then it'll be set for trial. Now, if you have to have a trial, do you want to have that in front of the judge, or do you want to have it in front of a jury who will decide the case? Okay, but do you want to be in front of me? Do you want me to make the decision, or do you want the jury to make the decision? The judge? Okay. Okay. You'll come right here. You're just gonna sign your name right here. Yes, sir, right in there. Yeah, and if you can just put your initials right here where you're saying you're waiving the jury trial. Actually, no, I did the wrong one. I'm sorry. Right here, this one right here. Your initials. That is it. Okay, you'll be receiving a notice of the pretrial, and then you can speak to the prosecutor at that time. Any questions of me? Right. But anything other than anything else? Any other questions you may have regarding procedure or anything? The prosecutor. Okay. Well, then good. Then I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you. And like I said, just be looking for that address. Everything still the same? Okay. All right. Perfect. Y'all have a good day. You're welcome. Yeah, his name is Epimenio Isasi. He's the prosecutor. He'll be here on that day that we give you the notice of. He'll be here to talk to you. All right. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome. Yes, sir. Time is 11:05 and we are off the record.